Welcome to another Frankenstein Brothers. Today, my brother Cedric and I are doing something a little bit different. We're going to talk to you about the top 5 most believable rappers of the 90s. Cedric, can you break down what we mean by believable?
Okay, 1991. Everybody went from being smooth and entertaining and dancing to kind of getting hard. You know what I'm saying? They was all doing that.
Yeah, couldn't smile no more.
Nobody could smile. Smile was outlawed. It killed Kid and Play. It killed Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Well, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was still going on, but he wasn't rapping on it anymore. My point is, who did you believe in the 90s? Who did you think was really that guy?
And the reason why I like the subject matter too, I think like in the 80s, and like I saw something on Facebook, shout out to whoever posted the thing. It was like, in the 80s, everybody went from doing dope was bad. You don't want to do it. When I saw dope, I said, screw it. To the 90s. Yeah, to the 90s, cats had to I do what I got to do to try to move that weight. Some like Nixon and Watergate. And then by 2000, everybody was kingpins. By 2010, everybody's on drugs themselves. And by 2020, everybody popping Percocets. Like they selling dope from CVS. So top 5 most believable rappers. You want to go first with one of the ones in the top 5?
Okay, one of the ones in the top 5. I'm going to take you way back because I got a couple honorable mentions, but at the same time, I got to take you back. So we're going to go back to like 1992. Spice Mother 1.
Spice One.
You trying to tell me you don't believe Spice One? I mean, come on, yo. 187 Pure. Come on, man.
So
the dreadlocks and all that. He was too ugly to be in.
That's funny. He was too ugly to secretly be an accountant.
Right.
I feel you with Spice One, especially after some of the music stuff he did. And to your point about 187 Proof, when that joint comes on, that's one of them songs that when it hits, people who don't even understand it,
and that's how his game was handled. First name,
it's like something's gonna happen to him. Spice One is a good one. I will raise your Spice One to Bushwick Bill. Let's be very clear. We got you got Big Mike, and I get it. You got Scarface, I get it. But Bushwick Bill, he was believable because he actually got shot in the
He shot himself.
Tupac, however it happened, Tupac got shot like a billion times by other people. Bushwick Bill shot himself. I believe Bushwick Bill was as crazy and as nutty as he came off as.
Okay, my number 2, I'm gonna have to hit you with DOS effects.
Okay.
DOS effects. You want effects? You trying to tell me if a dude's willing to wipe a booger on the camera while he's rapping, you can't tell me he's not real. It disgusted me. I almost vomited. But we want effects. I believed him.
He's really disgusting. He's really inappropriate. He really need to wash his hands.
Right.
But that's fair. I actually believe Pimp C. Now, I ain't saying he was really, Pimp C. I don't know if he was really a pimp, but I believed he believed everything he said. I'm convinced. When Pimp C used to rap.
Pimp C is UGK, right?
Yeah.
So, in all honesty, I have to give you credit for that one. And I have to say, I have to go with you on that one. Because Pimp C, if he didn't sell it himself, he probably convinced a whole lot of people too.
Yes. He either did it or he was a motivational speaker for the other reasons.
Right. You're your very own David Goins. I'm serious. So I got to get with you on that Pimp C.
Okay.
I got you one. I'm going to take you back to Detroit. Do you remember a little girl named Boss? The hardest female rapper, maybe of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
break it down, please.
Oh, man. You got to look it up. Just look it up. Check out Boss. I mean, I can't even say, because honestly, she scared me. I didn't know she was a girl for the first 15 seconds of the video.
It's funny because I almost feel offended that I don't have a girl on my list. Because some of them folks are believable. My number three, and I feel confident. And okay, so before I say this, right? Whenever I bring up DMX, said like he's a midget, he's like 2 foot tall.
I'm just saying.
Apparently midgets can rob and shoot people and themselves in the eye. Are you telling me you don't believe that DMX really drank a bottle of cologne and went and robbed somebody? I'm convinced he'd do it. I'm convinced he's as crazy as he said he was.
Try. The problem is, would he be successful? He's like 45 pounds. I mean, come on.
And the way he breaks down,
that's like David's little brother coming at you hard. Come on.
I respect that. I heard a story of okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I once heard a story of DMX that it was like him and Fat Joe got off stage for doing something where Fat Joe opened for him when he was doing crazy numbers, blowing out arenas. They went to the gas station and Fat Joe's pumping gas and DMX is in there for a little bit too long. And he's like, what's going on? He looks in the window and then sees the gas station attendant's hands are in the air. DMX is robbing the gas station. This is after he just made $200,000 off of being on stage that day. So I don't know if that's real or if that's real crazy.
It would probably be more like really crazy because you don't need the money. So why go to jail for 10 years unnecessarily?
For the love of it. DMX.
For the love of it? Come on, man. You 95 pounds, fully dressed, with, we call them boots, Timberlands. You know he ain't hurt nobody. I thought DMX was about literally 245, 6'3", and you know what I'm saying, just cut. I thought he was for real. I really believed he was that guy until he stood beside somebody else who was short, which is Ice Cube. I had no idea DMX was not a big fella.
Because when you're that believable, your persona, all of that stuff, larger than life. To me, when I look at what DMX did, if he come out on stage and yells, just cause I, you already know people gonna have a reply. At this I will point, raise 20 years worth of people. Go ahead.
I will raise your DMX, and I will go all in on Tretch from Naughty by Nature.
Okay, we talking about Believable. Like, at what point in Tretch's life are we talking about Believable?
I'm talking about if you ain't never been to the ghetto, then don't ever come to the ghetto. Stay out of the ghetto, because you won't survive the ghetto. That's what I'm talking about. Honestly, I don't know what ghetto he's talking about, but I got chills just saying it. For real.
With that, I respect Tretch, and I'm going to move on to Jay-Z. And here's why I say Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z never claimed that he killed 1,000 men with his bare hands. He never claimed that he take a muscle-bound man and put his face in the sand while being fat the whole time. Like it took LL 20 years to not be fat.
Skinny guy.
We took LL a long time to not be fat though. Like that's weird.
Bro. I don't think LL was ever fat. I don't think he was ever fat. I think he was just bulky because this dude wasn't taking off his shirt since he first came on the stage. I think he was pushing him out. He had the shirt over his fucking shoulder. I mean, I'm just saying.
In Deep Blue Sea, he was awful, huggable, and lovable. Like he was kind of huggable.
Yeah, but you see, they let him take off his clothes.
That might be.
Remember the time of Deep Blue Sea, and then remember the album that he had come out. He was talking about, "Hey girl," walking with his sleeve, one of his sleeves on his leg up. You know what I'm saying? Have Michael hanging half of his head. Come on, man.
But the cat always had
that much cannot possibly be fat. I'm just saying.
He was covering up everything but his forearms. He had shirts up to here. Like to me, there's something about LL that I just refuse to believe for various reasons. But I say Jay-Z because you telling me you didn't believe Jay-Z actually did what he said he did? He actually drove his own cars in the video. If he said he had a boat, he actually had it. And then at one point, all the billionaire lifestyle stuff, like I didn't know he was out here getting it like that. And to this day, I believe him.
I was watching a Vin Wiki. Shout out to Vin Wiki. Not really, because y'all don't give us no money. But shout out to Vin Wiki. But I was watching the Vin Wiki YouTube channel, and one of the things they talked about was Jay-Z renting one of their Mercedes to be in a video. So he wasn't always driving his own vehicles. Now that's not to say that he wasn't, because honestly, in all honesty, all haters aside, I was a big Jay-Z fan. But I will raise you, Jay-Z, and I'll take it back to 90s, early 90s again. Was it early 90s or 89? Might not count, but it was banging.
Be careful, because if this is 89, I'm gonna disqualify it.
Okay, so it might not work, but I think it will work. We're gonna go with all the way to Saginaw, Michigan. And you know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Nope.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How you not know who's talking about? No, for real though. I'm talking about I never got caught with a kilo. If I ever did, it never seen with MC Breed. MC Breed.
Breed. Oh, you saying
Marvin
MC Breed was from Michigan? You saying Breed was from Michigan?
You didn't know?
Not at all.
Back then, you did not have a Jeep not banging this song. He got more airplay than Wind. No lie.
Wow. Well, number one, shout out to MC Breed, because until you, like, if you had said MC anybody before you said Saginaw, I'd have went 8. Shan, like I was prepared to go down some levels with you. I think MC Breed is fair, and I actually agree. Something about him was actually believable.
Right.
I thought you were gonna say 8. And I don't respect MC8 ever since Dollars and Cents. Like, I picked a side and I stayed with DJ Quick. However, Believable.
DJ Quick was hot, and he had a killer song. Come on now.
And if you ask me, he lit MC8 on fire in a way that I don't know that he's ever come back from. Like, since then, I ain't heard MC8 say words.
1984 Pepsi commercial on him, huh? Okay.
However, if I'm gonna go Believable, and I'm not saying he actually was what he said he was, but did I believe him? Scarface.
Scarface.
Okay. When Brad Jordan spoke. When Brad Jordan spoke, I believed him.
You can't say Scarface and Bushwick Bill. That's like saying because that's like saying Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. You can't use the same people in the same video.
What you saying? You're telling me that there wasn't a point that actually you're telling me that. Okay, so if you're talking about, you can't say like an Ice Cube and a Dr. Dre. Ice Cube had Lethal Injection. He had his ties to the Nation of Islam. He had all those things that were going on in his life. And then Dr. Dre was a separate entity. To me, Dre has just become believable. If anything, Cube was the definition of believable until you found out that it didn't all make sense.
Okay.
Scarface might be believable to this day.
Nah, Scarface can't be believable. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was a Scarface fanatic back in 92. And in 92, he killed about 45 niggas in one album. So I refuse to believe he was that efficient. Because if he is, the government need to put him on their payroll. I'm just saying.
If he's that efficient, he needs to be an instructional teacher with a YouTube channel on how to bang cats out. Because apparently he's untouchable.
I have a certain set of skills, and these skills cost you. You know what I'm saying? You need to be screaming, "Where's my dog?"
A certain set of skills, and these skills gonna cost you. Run up on them crazy, then I floss you.
But I'll give you that because what's his name? Brad Joyner. He was a beast. So I gotta give you that. I'll give you that. Even though you're saying two dudes in the same group, it's kind of cheating. I'll give you that.
That's funny.
Okay.
So,
but I'll raise on Brad Joyner.
Okay.
And I will say, Master P.
Ooh.
You know, he can't rap. His
how quickly do we forget? We believed Master P till we thought I'm About It was a documentary.
Yes. And you gotta admit, even if it ain't real, because I don't know his situation, I don't put nothing on that man. That man's done very well with his life, and I respect you in every way. Please don't hurt me. That being said, you believe everything he said because he can't rap. His rap style initially was garbage. I'm for real. His lyrics didn't get hot until like the 5th album, but they were still selling off the chain. I'm telling you believe him. He should be.
This dude said he must be the hardest brother alive because he for dang sure can't put together a couple rhymes.
Yo, and the kind of money
he was pushing, really funny.
The kind of chips he was pushing, really, he can find somebody to write for him. He should have the best ghostwriters in the world.
That's funny. And there actually is something to be said for what you brought up. So here we go. We have just broken down our top 5 most believable rappers of all time, of the 90s rather. I'd be willing to hear anybody watching this to please hit that like button and comment and let us know who you believe the top 5 most believable rappers of all time is.